Okay, so I know that not everybody that is subscribed to this YouTube channel or that would actually see this kind of YouTube video would go through the long, tedious process of watching our entire 3-hour live stream we did yesterday for Team USA versus Team Russia at the World Juniors. Now, that video was a very long stream. I appreciate everybody who came out, but what we're talking about here in this video today is indeed very heavily reliant on what we saw in yesterday's game. So, in this video, I'm taking the two guys in the thumbnail of the Russia-USA picture, and I'm putting them here in another video because I wanted to talk about these two guys, because these two were in a very weird position for a big part of our stream. Firstly, because I'm a YouTube channel that has built itself up mostly on Canucks, Red Wings, and Habs fans, there were a ton of people talking about Cole Caufield for Team USA and Vasili Podkolzin for Team Russia, because we had a lot of Canucks fans, we had a lot of Habs fans, all checking it out and all giving their opinions. So, let's give my honest thoughts now here. And firstly, before we begin, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has been supporting the channel as of late, because now I think it's finally time to take a little bit of a break from the 3 completely produced 10-minute commentaries per day, because now that we have the streams coming back, it gives me an opportunity to kind of really lay myself back and stop producing so many videos, because hey, we had a schedule earlier on in April that lasted until July where we uploaded 2 videos a day, and then once the playoffs started we uploaded more, and then when all the trades and all the free agency stuff happened in October, we uploaded even more than that. And then because I was feeling the groove and December has the highest ad rates, I was like, yo, we're already on a roll, why don't we keep it going? Why don't we make 3 full-length 8 to 10 minute videos every single day, and maybe a 4th video on top of that if there was another piece of news that ended up going on. But now we're in a spot where hockey is back. We have the World Junior streams that we're going to be doing. We have the actual NHL streams that we're going to be doing as well when the season commences. So there's not really a reason for me to go all balls to the wall like we were before, uploading 3 10-minute videos a day, because if we wanted to do 3, why not just stick with the old schedule, 2 10-minute videos a day with the extra video on top of that if there's another topic to talk about. So that's kind of my situation right here. Sorry if I deterred anybody from watching this video. I just wanted to get that out there because it is really important to me. But let's talk about Vasili Podkolzin and Cole Caufield, because both of these guys were guys that I saw a lot of Habs and Canucks fans be on complete polar opposites when it comes to their overall reception. The Vancouver Canucks side of things especially. So if you weren't up to date, Team Russia ended up beating Team USA 5-3 in their first preliminary game yesterday. The goal scorers for Team USA were not Cole Caufield, and Cole Caufield, because believe it or not, people were actually asking. We were discussing in the chat in the live stream yesterday, hey, do you think Caufield is going to get a hat trick in this game? But he didn't end up getting a goal. He got an assist on the Cam York goal, but that was it. The other Team USA goals were scored by John Farinacci and Trevor Zegras, and then for Team Russia, you had a Vasili Podkolzin who did not get a single point. And even though they scored 5 goals, Podkolzin was not a part of any of them. Now this is actually the weird part, because people were talking a lot about Podkolzin, and if you went on Twitter and looked at Podkolzin's name in the latest tweets during the time the game was going on, you would think that a whole bunch of Canucks fans just straight up hated their own guy, because even though he was the captain of Team Russia and he was put in that position because he's a leader, he wasn't on the score sheet. And in fact, so many people would be quick to point out that, oh, he looked invisible out there, oh, he didn't really do much. I'll say this here, because we're talking about my honest thoughts, right? Vasili Podkolzin to me in the game against Team USA was effective. And I use the word effective and not good, not bad, because Vasili Podkolzin did most of his work in that game away from the puck. He was mostly chasing guys down. He was mostly chipping it in every time he did get the puck and hunting down his own passes. He would find other guys open on the side, and he would actually facilitate play pretty well. but he didn't get any points. And if you're going to ask me, do you think it stays like this long term for the entire tournament? I'm going to say no. Vasili Podkolzin displayed in this game that he's actually having a very comfortable time just cruising along. And you could say, oh, cruising along, that's a bad thing. You want this guy to be a difference maker out there. But lo and behold, the Amirov, Kusnedinov, Podkolzin line didn't really play out there all too much together as a line. Podkolzin and Amirov were mostly given penalty kill duties because Russia went to the box a lot, which ended up breaking up the flow of having your lineups go out in a 1-2-3-4 basis. Podkolzin actually finished the game off as one of the top forwards in ice time amongst everybody in the game, but it wasn't really feeling like that because he was mostly penalty killing and he was out there in the mid-tier shifts, not really getting all the offensive opportunities. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm making excuses for Podkolzin or whatever, but I'll say this. The Russians only really worked for 1 or 2 actual goals, I would say. They scored 5, yes, but take a look at the actual goals that went in. The first goal, okay, great. It's a nice passing play. Eventually it's tipped in. The goalie can't see it. Cool. The second goal was a breakaway. The third goal and the fourth goal, these were bad turnovers. First off, it was Jake Sanderson gifting the puck right over to Vasily Ponomaryov in front, and then the second goal was Spencer Knight gifting the puck off the boards to Ilya Safonov. And then the fifth goal was an empty net goal where Kusnedinov and Amirov and Chinnikov all worked together to force it into the American empty cage. This is not an opportunity where I say, oh, Podkolzin just wasn't capitalizing on chances or they weren't given to him. It was just a matter of the fact that the Russians only really scored like 1 or 2 actual goals. The other ones were just handouts or empty nets. So saying that Podkolzin didn't get any points is a weak argument. Sorry. Next up, though, Cole Caufield did get a point. And the fan base sentiment for Cole Caufield is completely different than the fan sentiment we have seen for Vasili Podkolzin, because Cole Caufield was an absolute cerebral assassin every time he had the puck in the offensive zone. This guy would force himself over to the left side of the ice to do that little, like that right stick, pull it far forehand, then press L1, and then you pull it through your legs, and you put it on the backhand kind of deke. Yeah, Cole Caufield was doing that like crazy over here. Caufield was a very high-caliber offensive catalyst who actually didn't really get too much playing time in the first period. He had 2 minutes and 58 seconds, which really pissed off Habs fans. Towards the end, though, he had more minutes. He ended off the night as one of the top-played forwards on the team, and again, a lot of that does have to do with the fact that Team USA was on the power play a lot, but Cole Caufield was absolutely snake-bitten, man. We had 2 or 3 glorious opportunities where Cole Caufield was so close to finding the back of the cage. Either he shoots it a little bit too close into Askarov's jersey, or he just makes a great save in general. Cole Caufield had a boatload of opportunities in this one, and it was so cool watching him do his thing as he went around there trying to find space, and even when he didn't have the puck, he was in a position where he was helping his team offensively. He had 5 shots in this game, the most out of every player in the game. And it's funny because he only came away with an assist, and I should be happy that, he has an assist over here. He is a point-per-game player in the World Juniors, much better than he was last year. But I left this game thinking that Cole Caufield has so much more to give, it's been a while since I've seen a full Team USA game with Zegras, Turcotte, Caufield, and all the guys over there. Cam York, too. He had some really good plays and some pretty questionable ones as well that kind of led to goals. But, yeah, Caufield was so good. And I think any Habs fan that was watching this game or that was just looking up on the highlights because, hey, it was a pretty late game, I'll say that. It was a good one for him. It was a good one for Zegras, too. Those two, I think, really stood out as the players of the game for Team USA. Sanderson had a bad giveaway that led to a goal. Cam York had a few lackadaisical back-checking plays that led to very bad plays for their own team. But Zegras and Caufield, my gosh, these guys are great. So wrapping up this video, because we're kind of on the subject of the end here, Caufield was looking really good. Podkolzin was honestly looking pretty effective too. What he needs to go out there and do now is to actually, find the back of the net once in a while, because most of his play was limited to the perimeter. And even though he was in a spot where he was breaking up fights between other players and he was showing off why he's a leader, I'd be lying if I said Vasili Podkolzin had all the opportunities that he just didn't capitalize capitalize on. The fact is, he just didn't really have any opportunities. So I'm honestly really believing in Podkolzin in the next few games here because he has looked really comfortable. He has looked really good as a hockey player, just not as a point scorer, you know? So talk to me in the comments what you think about all this stuff, about Podkolzin, about Caufield. I know Caufield's playing later today against Team Austria, so that's going to be awesome to see. Hopefully the next video we make tomorrow is about how Caufield absolutely dominates that team. But you know, let's try not to put the cart before the horse. So talk to me in the comments what you think about Caufield and Podkolzin in yesterday's game. I hope you enjoyed this video. Trolls99, and bye.